Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. So this is the third week on this job. So this is, as you know, this is my personal house. I was carry on with the lamination of the timber just to do the timber that we need to straighten up the floors, and at the same time we are rendering the staircase. I will show you that. We build a platform so we can have like a nice platform to work from. We're going to render the staircase, then we're going to do the insulation, the ceiling, we'll do all the plastering, and then just after that we'll remove the platform and we can do below that, because we don't want to work 2 times to dismantle, then put obviously the platform back and then take it down again. So we're just going to do that once, and we're going to do everything with obviously allowing time to dry, and then when we remove the platform everything will be done. So in here, so now I will show you the test piece that we did. Looking at the images, I think I went too crazy with the glue. I mean, in the end of the day, I don't need that much glue. I mean, this lamination, they don't have to support the whole weight. They just have to be attached to the existing joists, so they will so they can be nice and straight. So, but I made them strong because when I'm gonna put them aside, obviously on the joist side, and then screw them together and glue them together, they will also going to strengthen the existing joint. So if I was going to do this, I'm going to obviously do it properly, and I will I will go the extra mile, because in the end of the day is my house. Some people might disagree. They will say it's too much. Yeah, I wouldn't need that much. There's too much wood, there's too much screws, there's too much glue, and so on. But I always been like that. I always like to go over the top. I always like to be safe than sorry, and I'm gonna do the same with my own house, obviously. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because I think it's very clear that this worked. I mean, you can see here it's been glued very good. This and that is obviously from here, so you can see in some places the glue is stronger, the bond is stronger than the wood itself. So yeah, you saw me using the crowbar in the joint, so this way I can see how good the joint was. I think this is obvious that this is good enough, so it's actually a lot stronger than we need. So if they will actually replace some of the joists, then yes, we will have to have glue everywhere and have them very strong, but they just gonna be add onto the joist, so they're not gonna take the whole weight of the room, because the joists will take the weight. They're just gonna make the level. So I think ours just have to be secured together, and just make sure that they are not moving and there's no squeaks. We could probably get away without using glue, but I just want to be 100% sure that there will be any squeaks. So I will use glue, but I will not use as much as I did here. So, but I knew from the beginning that it will be fine. I just want to obviously make a test just to show you that this will be strong enough. As you can see, I have this just over 6 meter long working platform or working table, how you want to call it. So I did it like that because I want to cut the timber with a rail at that end, and in here I want to use the other circular saw and just cut the edges so they straight, because as you can see most of them are not straight. Okay, so I did work out over the weekend how much money I was going to pay for the timber, just to buy new timber and don't do this kind of lamination. So it will be roughly £1,000. They will be 250 by 50, so they will be 10 by 2. We obviously need 300 mil wide in some places, but let's say 250 will work. I mean, we just have to probably put a bit more noggings, but we could make it work with 250. So we're just gonna call it 250. It will work. So I haven't add anything for this room because I already have them here, so I'm not gonna add them or deduct them. I'm just gonna keep this room out of the calculation. So the timber will cost me about £1,000. From then we have to deduct the glue, we have to deduct the screws or the nails, and I will probably use some more 6x1 that I have in here. Is this here. I bought it at the same time when I bought this 10 by 2. Yeah, so they are drier, so they are quite dry, so I can use those. So I'm probably gonna use them to laminate the timber, because I need quite few pieces, and some of them are shorter, and that's going to speed up the process a little bit. So I will deduct that from the price. I will deduct the glue, the screws, the nails, everything I'm using, and then at the end of the day I'm going to tell you how much money did I save, how many days I did work, and if that's worth it. Okay, so it's day 2 on the 3rd week of working on the house. Up here on the staircase we are ready to render, to do the rendering. So it will be sand and cement render. As you can see, we primed the wall already. We made the guidelines, so all is done with the laser, and we have a nice square corners. As you can see, here is about 3 centimeters, and in here is about 12-13 millimeters. So it's a bit of a difference, because we have a bit of a difference there, so we want to make sure that everything is nice, straight and square. So we have all the angle bits for the render. That side we're joining with the plasterboard, so we're just gonna do a nice straight corner, and we're gonna have an angle bit when we're gonna come to do the plastering. So yeah, that will be for today, or as much as possible anyway. This staircase will start to be rendered, and I will carry on cutting my timbers downstairs. So this is a good example of the wood lamination. You can see me using a brush, dusting off the timber. Then I will take a wet cloth and I will clean the dusty side of the timber. So you can see the timber, there's 2 timbers with the dusty side up and 2 timbers with the good side up. So when I'm gonna glue them together, I will use the dusty side and the good side, and this way when I'm gonna be finished, I will have one dusty side and one good side. So obviously the good side will get to be glued to the existing joist. And in the end I went for nails instead of screws, because I just find out that the first fixed nails, they are 51 millimeters and they work just fine if you angle the gun a little bit, and they do put a bit more pressure on the timber. So basically when you shoot the nail, it does close the gaps a bit better, and it does keep the wood together better than the screws. All I have to do is to make sure that everything is nice, is touching. You can see me when I'm placing one timber on top of the other, I can move it a bit so I can spread the glue a little bit. But in the end of the day, like I said, this is more stronger than we need, because they won't obviously hold the whole weight of the house or anything like that. They just have to support the floors, and whatever is obviously on top of the floors. In here you can see me using a clamp because there was something with the timbers was obviously a bit bent and they was not closing each other, even if I made a nice straight line for the joint. And in here you can see me putting nails on the other side. So you saw me obviously trying to remove the timber, the glue timber earlier, but that wasn't with any nails on it or any screws, because I removed them. This one here obviously is full with nails, so I think this will be almost impossible to separate. Here you can see me preparing the wood to be cut, so the wood is already been glued together. Now all we have to do is to take a scraper and scrape the excess glue and just make sure that there's no any nails heads or nails popping through, and then if there is, then we're just gonna hammer them down. And what we need now, we need to choose which side goes up and which side goes down, and then just cut the top side to have a nice and straight line. Basically that it will be the line that we're gonna use to level the floor using the laser. And after we have one nice edge that is obviously clean and square, we're just gonna use it to reference from it, and we're just gonna cut one end of the boards square as well. So having that, then all we have to do after that is just to measure the final length of the joist and cut the other side of the board, and that's it. We are ready to install that. In here you can see me cutting a board that is 4 meters long, so this way the rail won't be long enough to cut this in one go. So in this case we have to transfer that mark just to make sure that we're cutting the board nice and straight. So we can't use the tape measure, we can't use a square, because the boards are not nice and straight because they have bends and curves in them. So what I will do, I will mark two ends and then I will transfer it with the laser. You can use a chalk line. I just couldn't find my one, even if I know I have 2 or 3 chalk lines. I couldn't find any of them, so I obviously used the laser. There's only 8 boards that I need to cut, so it's also quick with the laser and it's also good. So you can see me moving the rail and cutting this, because once this board is cut, it needs to be cut nice and straight, otherwise you won't be able to curve this board to follow the laser. Hello again. So we are at the end of the 3rd week. As I said in the beginning of the video, we're going to render the staircase, I mean the higher side, the half of the staircase, maybe a bit more. I'm going to laminate the timber for the adds that we're going to do on the joists, so we can level up the flooring. We already start to do these adds. I'm going to show you, we did this room. We had a clear out because we have some couple of big timber beams in here. We took them outside. We took all the wood that wasn't needed outside. We cover it so we can move this tower a bit easier. This room is done. Apart from the noggings, we have lots of timber prepared there, so that's all ready to go. In the meantime, we bought some more 6x2 for the noggings. There wasn't enough timber to laminate to do all the noggings, and there are other bits that I need to do in the bathroom, in the dressing, but I will tell you about that when we're going to do it. There will be a separate video about how to level a wooden floor, because there are a few methods. There's a couple of technical details that I need to give you, and I will go through every single method and I will tell you what I think is best and what the situations, obviously depending on the situations. So I will turn the camera now and I will show you what we did. How is the staircase looking? We used 2 types of rendering, just because we wanted to see, because we need to render the whole downstairs, which is a lot. So we wanted to see which render will be better in terms of obviously price and how it is actually working. Okay, so these are the add-ons on this side of the joist. As you can see, they're all done. Plenty of nails, screws and glue. You can see a lot of marks, but that we haven't done that many nails. I mean, some of them was the old screws that the boards were fixed in the first place. Then we had the lamination where we put nails, and obviously some in here. So obviously we didn't have that many nails, as you can see, but we have plenty of nails, structural screws. We try to put one down, one up, one down, one up. There's a couple of beams that was a bit curved in the middle, and our add-on was doing like it was doing this. So then we try to put a screw in the middle. There is this side here, I don't know if you can see, there's a gap at the bottom, and there's another one somewhere. Yeah, this one there. There's also a gap at the bottom because the beam was curved, you know, was like that. So we let it dry, and maybe if needed we put some shims with glue under, and we'll put some more screws. But there's plenty of screws, there's plenty of nails. I'm pretty sure that's not going anywhere and it won't be squeaking. This is what we want. Okay, so this is the render. As you can see, we did it up to there. I mean, the ceiling will be the same level like that one. So we did it so we can put our trim, our ceiling perimeter nice on the rendering. So it's pretty good. Yeah, it's actually very good. I think two coats of plaster, and so base coat and finishing coat I think will do the job in here. As I said, we used two types of render. So this one you can see is cement rendering. This one that we did on the top here is a different rendering, and we used that rendering different one on this beam here and on this beam here, because there was a bit, it was like about 3.5-4 centimeters. The cement one was very difficult to render on the top, so we use a different one. This is very sticky. Also we wanted to try, as I said, because we're gonna have a lot to render, and see which one works better. And I think this one, the second one, works a lot more better. It's very, very, very sticky. I think you can compare it with a hard wool in UK, but is a lot stronger than the hard wool. Now the good thing about that is that you can literally float it and skim it, and you just have to do like a thin coat of plastering over it, and that's it, you're done. This one you have to do at least 2 coats, maybe 3, depending how good it is. I'm gonna take the level now and I'm gonna show you how is it. Yeah, so nice and level. You see, so no gaps, and is spot on. So there's no excuses. There's no excuses. We don't like to do any excuses, you know. I mean, this is new, you know. I can't put the camera all the way in, but yeah, this is spot on. Same with this one. You see, there's no gaps, and is also spot on. I hope you can see. I can't put the camera very close to the wall. So so we render it as it should be, nice and plumb level. So that will be nice and easy to do 2 coats of plastering, and everything will be nice and straight and level. No excuses that, you know, it was too much. In here we have about 4 centimeters, maybe even more at the top. You can see the wood is buried there, so I think this corner we had just a bit more than 3 centimeters and 4 going up. This one was about 1 centimeter, and this was about 1.5 2 centimeters. The same distance. The square is pretty square, the same distance. So yeah, I think I think my colleague Alin did a great job, actually a fantastic job. We just have to obviously plaster it. So as I said, we're gonna keep this in place. We're gonna treat the timber, we're gonna put insulation, plasterboard ceiling, suspend it with metal grid, and then we're gonna plaster this, sand down, and maybe 1 coat of paint, and then we're just gonna remove this and do downstairs. There's no point remove it and then put it back and so on. So I think there obviously will be just maybe some painting left that can be done from the ladders, or you know, from a scaffold. In here, as you can see, let me go in here. You see, these are all the add-ons. You know, we did a lot of glue, you know, more than is needed. Nails, screws, and that's, you see that level there, so that's all level all the way through. We're just gonna carry on everywhere, so we're gonna have a nice level floor like it's supposed to be in the first place. I'm gonna talk about that a bit more when I'm gonna show you how to do it. So in the end, I think this was a good week. We did a lot. I mean, we wanted to do a bit more, but sometime, you know, it doesn't work. You just start doing one thing, and then you have to do another thing and another thing, and then the time flies. But in the end of the day, I can say that yeah, it was a pretty good week. I'm happy with what we did, and yeah, and that's it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this was okay. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. In the end, I will say happy holidays, all the best, and I will see you next time with a different video. Goodbye.